What's up, guys? I'm gonna start with some announcements. What do we think of the hair? Wow. I've had it since I made the Miraculous video. Loving it. The reason I haven't been using my sprites lately is because I need to update it because, you know, my look has updated a little bit, but also because it's kind of difficult to edit and I just want to be able to make videos without having to like worry about it too much. Speaking of which, I did make a new Sona, which you can find on my art fight. You can find it right here, or I might link it in the description, so check out my art fight. I am participating this year. This is my first year. Future videos you're gonna want to look out for that I'm thinking about making, may or may not make. We'll see. I did make some Monster High redesigns that I might make a video about, which, you know, if you go on my TikTok, which you should follow me on my TikTok because that's where I am most of the time. I tend to neglect my YouTube. I did end up getting into some arguments in my comments because people did not understand my creative decisions in the redesigns, which I barely changed the characters. I'm gonna be so honest. It was the dumbest arguments I've ever been in my life. But anyways, I'm gonna make more. I'm gonna make a video of it, so keep an eye out for that. I might make like a video where I like humanize like my calico critters because I have a big collection of those. Speaking of collections, I might make a video where I just do like a ramble of all the things I have collected. You can see a shelf. You can see my books kind of right there. But I have a lot of things collected. I might make like a miscellaneous OC video. And if you've been wondering why I haven't been posting a lot lately about the OCs I made in my animatic that I just recently made, that's because I'm developing them a lot and I just kind of want to wait till I have them more developed to post them. I'm trying to make like a movie. That's my summer project, like a movie, if that makes sense, like having it like written out and then like some storyboards and then like it's just like to do something. Anyways, to get into the video, I'm gonna be making gajinkas / humanized like characters of roller coasters from an amusement park where I grew up in Utah. It's called Lagoon. It's the best. I love Lagoon. You may have heard a couple people have died there. It has a little bit of lore to it, which, you know, it's a tricky subject, but I personally love that theme park. I think it's partly because of how old it is, and I don't like, you just go there and the air is different there. I don't know. Probably because it stinks. Oh. But you see that tiger I got right there? I got that at Lagoon. And I posted these a while ago. I should have made this video a long time ago, but for whatever reason I just didn't have the motivation to, but we're here now. So, strap in. I'm just gonna talk about all my, like, why I designed them certain ways and like memories I have at Lagoon while I'm drawing. So this is kind of just like a watch while you draw video. So without further ado, I'm mostly going through these in the order that I drew them, but I think the reason I started off with this ride was because it was kind of easy to like get into the flow of turning rides into characters, because this ride was kind of straightforward. It has like portraits all over it and it has a very clear theme. Its name is Turn of the Century. It's like a swing ride. I love this ride, especially at night. It's peak. Since I started off historical, I thought I'd go to the next like historical ride. This one was like the very first roller coaster they built at Lagoon. I think it was originally built in like the 20s, so I decided to give the character like 20s fashion, but the vibe is very like old-timey. It has a lot of history. Like, it got burned down and then rebuilt. Just very I don't know, it's just kind of like, even though it's rickety, it's very classy, so I really had fun designing that one. For Colossus, the Fire Dragon, and Wicked, they're like right next to each other and I heavily associate with each other, so, and they're also me and my sister's like favorite roller coasters, so I was like, what about sisters? So I made them sisters, and you can see I incorporated like the shapes of the roller coasters like into their designs. And then since they're dragons, I was like, okay, well I have to draw them as dragons also, so just like assume they can just like be dragons sometimes in the lore, I guess. But they were so fun to draw. I love the colors that they have, and also I feel like the dynamic is really cute. Like, I thought Wicked would just be kind of like grumpy, and Colossus would be like super like happy-go-lucky. One thing that you'll notice throughout this video is that I end up drawing a lot more dragons than I thought I would, but I guess dragons are just kind of like a common theme in Lagoon. I don't know. Originally, I was gonna draw all 4 of the drop rides like separately, and I was like, wait, no, they're all drop rides. They have to be a family. And so I kind of like went pretty much just vibes based with all of them. I felt like Blast Off was like a little bit chiller and Re-entry is a little bit more crazy, so I was like, okay, 2 kids, they're so cute. I love them. I'm like just now realizing that Dinosaur Drop looks a lot like Sumo from Clarence. Okay, with the bat, I was kind of expecting people on my TikTok to argue with me about how they thought the bat would not be a scene queen, but I think everyone actually does agree because that's just the vibe. Also, like, that's where all the Halloween, that's like where a lot of like scare actors hang out during Frightmares, so it's just always just been like kind of like a spooky vibe. I feel like I used to see a lot of emos over there like back in the day, so definitely feel like I cooked. To be honest, even though I went really basic with this one, like there's a lady in the window, I basically just drew her, gave her some like mummy bandages and like the famous car jump scare in the ride. That's like what I think the car would look like, even though you don't really see it. But I really like how she turned out. I feel like it fits very well. Such an iconic ride. I I don't know, it's just, it feels like watching a fever dream 80s horror movie in real life, and it's my favorite. The same thing goes for Dracula's Castle, this one I'm doing right now. I also went kind of basic with him, but like honestly, like vampires, like I don't know, I kind of went like a little bit more like trad goth outfit wise, like 80s trad goth, like I don't know. Really like how that one turned out. I feel like it was very vibey. Okay, I am actually so upset that so many people hate Primordial because I freaking love it. That might also be because the first time I wrote it, I was waiting in line for like 2 hours, but it was also my first time listening to the Crane Wives, and it was like a little bit rainy, so it was like standing like in like a real castle listening to the Crane Wives. I don't know, just hit different. And then also the furry queen is my favorite, so she's objectively just like a D&D furry. No one gets to argue with me about that one, you're not allowed. To be honest, Cannibal is the ride that I struggled with like the absolute most. This one was so difficult to figure out, partially because the ride's elements, I'm gonna be so honest, have like very orientalist undertones, so I didn't want to make it a human because that didn't feel right to me, so I ended up making it like an animal with like the color scheme. I feel like it really did capture the vibe in the end though, so I'm glad I went that direction. Bombora, I was originally gonna go the route of like a merman, and then I was like, wait, what does Bombora mean though? So I looked it up, and it's an Aboriginal Australian word that means like a turbulent reef. So I was like, oh, so I decided to make him like a Aboriginal surfer dude, and I was like, I feel like that really captured it because it's just like, it's also kind of a chill ride, like it's not too scary or anything, so I just thought like a chill dude would go with a chill ride. Lately, I used to like really like anime, but I've been getting into more like classic like Western cartoonist art styles, so I was like, oh, I might try like a more like classic Western cartoon style for the spider, because I mean this one was pretty easy just because there's like already the spider on the front, but I brought the green in and I had a lot of fun with that one. She's so cute. She's so like park mom, friend group mom. Rattlesnake Rapids, this one I really had fun with because I was like, okay, this has to be like a adrenaline junkie, like cowboy character. I don't know, I feel like I made him look a little too angry. I feel like I would go back and change, but I didn't want to draw this texture for the rattlesnake boots, so I did use a Google photo for that. My bad. Not my strongest design. If I did go back, I'd fix up the silhouette, like the boot shape and the hat shape, and then maybe some of the colors, but other than that, I really liked it. Wild Mouse, again, very, very intuitive, kind of easy to come up with the concept. I did struggle with the pose. It didn't end up how I wanted it to look, but I drew some other drawings of him that I really like. He does look like Parker Kendall, that one guy on TikTok. Love him. Cracks me up every time I look at it because I'm like, that's literally just Parker Kendall. I had so much fun with her. I love the way she turned out. Some people wanted me to make the character like the caked up pirate on the side, but I'm like, no, I feel like it's like a different character. I feel like the ride though is her because it's like mostly like baddie ladies in like the line. So I was like, I would have felt bad if I didn't make her a baddie girly pirate. I'm really glad that I feel as though I do not need to improve on any of the colors on that one. I feel like that one came out exactly right. The jumping dragon was another one I felt like was straightforward. I was gonna originally go human, and I was like, wait, no, the ride's literally a dragon, but I noticed that since even though like the ride is supposed to be Chinese, it was like a Western style dragon, so I was like, well, I'm just gonna switch that up, so I just changed that. Very simple. It's still cartoony, it's not actually like in traditional Chinese art style, but I just I don't know, that one was kind of tricky for me. Puff was another one that should have been easy, but I struggled with, and yet another dragon. So I was just gonna draw the ride as it was, but I kind of forgot how ugly he was. So I was like, I'm just gonna make him a little cuter. I kind of wish I made the green a little bit more true to the actual green. I like the character design on its own, it just doesn't really remind me of the actual ride. Pioneer Village, I remember as a kid, very distinct memory, seeing goth people and like steampunk goth people taking photo shoots in Pioneer Village, and that was like my first time ever seeing a goth person, and it like literally changed something in my brain chemistry, so I had to make Pioneer Village a steampunk person. And then I just found out that they are building like a steampunk ride there, so I was like, oh my gosh, that's literally perfect. Are you kidding me? The reason I did Wild Kingdom Train, even though it's not a very good ride, because Lagoon has a long history of animal abuse and neglect in their zoo section, but luckily recently they did get rid of, I think they sent their animals to actual zoos and shelters, so they're well off now. This one I just like put some of like the scary like spooky ride characters together, and there's more spooky rides that came after this that I didn't get to by the point that I drew this, and they'd all be part of the spooky gang, but I love Lagoon because of how iconic it is for all of its like Halloween scary horror aspects. Like it's such a fun place. I love Lagoon. Unfortunately, Jetstar 2 has been retired because the manufacturing company stopped making the parts that they would need to keep it up. But this ride was very beloved and very violent, and it took my glasses, so rip. I'm gonna miss the concept of you, but I'm not gonna miss riding you, Jetstar 2. This one I had to do because me and my sister love haunted stuff and haunted dolls, and the Haunted Doll Museum in Pioneer Village, unfortunately not a lot of people know about it, but we go there every time because it's just like so spooky, but I love it. I was like, oh, I gotta do like a little pioneer doll because Utah, but also because that's the theme. This one was a little bit more self-indulgent than accurate to the ride, but I love Tailspin, and I was like, okay, well, I gotta do the plane ride as like a little Tailspin OC, so, you know, I might like do like something with that, I don't know. I did Bulgy the Whale in part 2, but I love this ride because I would do this like super annoying thing where I would like get on it at my big age of like 15, and I would just scream bloody murder. Like, I thought it was so funny. But look at their cute little sailor outfits! I actually can't. The carousel, I was mostly just going off of like not the actual like animals on it, but more of like the design on like the sides. It actually kind of reminds me of like Rapunzel, which I love. I really like the way this one turned out. Like you can kind of tell what ride it is instantly, even though it's kind of basic looking. Odyssey was and always will be such a diva, just like as a ride. I wanted to do like an octopus, squid, mermaid lady, but like I didn't want to make her look like Ursula. I feel like I cooked. She's literally so cool, and I'm definitely shipping her with Tidal Wave. The baby boats are so old. Like my dad has like baby pictures of him like riding them like as a baby, and so I was like, okay, well she has to be like a cute baby. And I gave her like a giant sailor hat that's like way too big for her, and like I went with like the more like 50s style because that's when the ride was like 50s, 60s, 70s. I don't actually know. Just like a vintagey style because that's when the ride was made. Super cute. Love how she turned out. Samurai, again, very intuitive one. If you've ever ridden the ride, that one's intense. I don't think I'd ride it again just because it's like genuinely painful. But I had a lot of fun with the character. Also, who's excited for season 2 of Blue-Eyed Samurai? Me. Funhouse of Fear, every single time I go to Lagoon, the line for this is like 3 hours long, so I've only ever been in it like once, so I had to actually like watch a walkthrough of this one, which was kind of like made me sad, but because I literally worked at a haunted house. I freaking love haunted houses, so I was like, dang. But that one was really fun to draw just because it was kind of all over the place, and I love like black light. Nightwalk, every time I think about this like walkthrough, I'm like, man, they really did that, because it's like very like Satanist, like cult themed, which is, you know, it's in like Farmington Centerville, Utah, you know, very, Utah is like mostly Mormon, so like usually people are sensitive to those topics, I'm gonna be so honest. So I just think it's cool that they went with that theme so blatantly. So I was like, okay, well, I gotta make him like a goat furry, obviously. Skyride, I was like, well, it's a ski lift, so I might as well just do like a skiing lady. It's definitely based on my great grandma, who was like a professional skier, and she's awesome. But I had a lot of fun with that one. Like finding like the vintage ski suit outfits was fun to look up. Not a ride, but definitely an icon of the park, or icons of the park, are like the water features, but it's just like a wet ball and a wet hole. Cracks me up every time, because every time I walk in I'm like, wet ball and wet hole. It's not funny. I'm just like super unfunny. It's my bad. This is just a drawing of them all playing like a bunch of the characters like playing like D&D together. I just feel like that would just happen like naturally, like if they interacted, and it's just, I don't know, just very fun dynamic to draw. I thought it'd be really cute if these two like the two like historical kind of like rides over in that area fell in love. Like they're so cute. Oh, like they're very bro, it's so funny. I'm like just drawing roller coasters with people and shipping them and like going feral about it. It's hilarious. Someone in my comments said you need to get him a milkshake because they were sad for him, and I was like, no, it's okay. Like I feel like he'd be happy now. Like he's just conducting the train. There's no sad animals. So you know, I drew him with the spider and Puff, and I thought it would be really cute if they were just getting milkshakes together, and I did make him like a little bit more colorful in that one because he's happy. So I got some requests of people saying like I should make them kiss, and I was like, aw, they're so cute. And I was like, I put the kids in the background just like being like, ugh, and aw. So I don't know, super cute couple, super cute family. I literally loved their designs. I felt like they just like worked together super good. But also I feel like they're very like Utah-esque. I don't know, just very nice, very, very, very fun. And like I said, I was shipping Odyssey and Tidal Wave. I felt like it'd be like a little bit more of like a crush situation, or like Odyssey would just be kind of like playing her. I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of story potential with these two. I had a lot of fun with these two. This is not a ship, they're just best friends, but I feel like they would just like mess around and like prank people. They're totally like adrenaline junkies. They just be like, I don't know. I feel like they just goof around together. I literally love how their dynamic is. I don't know. I was like, okay, well I have to do all the dragons together in something, and I was like, I think that they would tell Colossus like, you have to stop making like dragon jokes, because now they can't make the dragon jokes. I don't know, that's so stupid, but I don't know, I couldn't think of anything else. But I was like, also Imagine Dragons is from Utah, which is, you know, I wouldn't be able to recognize them, but that's cool. I was thinking I have to draw all of like the Lagoon babies together, and I was like, oh wait, what if they did like a little braid train makeover train? Oh, they're so cute. And then I also thought it was really cute that they were giving Dinosaur Drop like Liberty Spikes instead of like braids or something, because that's just like more on brand, but super cute, super fun. And here's just all of them like without the time lapses. I had so much fun doing these. Lagoon holds such a special place in my heart, and it was actually like really good character design practice, not just from like the actual drawing them part, but like the thinking of ideas. It's just like good like creativity exercise. I highly recommend doing something like this with like whatever your local theme park is. If you want to draw these characters and you're from Utah and you want to like make headcanons or whatever, like totally do it. Post it on TikTok and tag me because I want to see them. But had so much fun. Have so much fun going to Lagoon. I hope I can go this summer. So if you're ever in Utah, I highly recommend going. Bring food. The food there is very expensive. There isn't Arby's. So if you like Arby's, you can get that if you're there. But anyways, thank you so much for watching. I know Utah has been getting a lot of attention lately, so I would, for like different reasons, but I just kind of wanted to show that there's good things in Utah. If you're from Utah, There's other cool people here. Don't give up. Also, fuck that data center, fuck Kevin O'Leary, fuck Governor Cox, all that good stuff. And like and subscribe, and have a great day, besties.